Party people, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tim from Over the Years. As you guys can see, I am riding solo tonight. Josie is at a cabaret, and Ma Dukes is feeling a little bit under the weather. So I want to thank you all for joining us this evening. So tonight we're gonna go over what went down at the auction. If you guys saw my latest video, I went to an auction and picked up a whole bunch of beautiful glass. And then we will also talk about a little bit about Carnival Glass, kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on. And hopefully you guys can figure out, if you're out and about, what pieces of Carnival Glass are good pieces for you guys to grab. Also, I will show you guys a little bit of what sold for me this weekend across some of the platforms. And then I also just wanted to touch a little bit on, give you guys an update on how things have been on the transition from part-time reseller to full-time reseller. I feel like that's something that a lot of people are, have questions about and whatnot. So first, let's go ahead and say hello to the amount of people that are in here. Hopefully I put enough arrows on my thumbnail to entice people to come watch today. We're doing a little bit of a happy hour time slot. I figured I usually play basketball on Monday nights, and since Josie was gone and Mel back from burnout, she's going to be going on live at 7. So I figured this would be a nice little buffer before her show, and then I can go play some basketball. So let's say what's up to some folks. Joni Kramer was first in the building. My man Kent, my man 50 grand, funniest dude on the YouTubes. Shout out to him. And of course, the legendary Tommy Bernhard is in the building. I appreciate the love and support. And my man Jody is in the building. Canada is well represented. I know I saw Chris in here as well. So if you guys haven't heard the news, hopefully I'm allowed to say this, but I will be live with the Canadians tomorrow night. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I really enjoy those guys, the Canadian Roundtable. My man Stu Mandry is in the building as well. Who else we got in here? Georgina, how you doing today, Georgina? My man, the Swamp Picker, is also in the building. Patty, hello. My man Cernock in the building, whipping home, listening. I appreciate that. Michelle, how you doing? Rob and Lisa, couple of pickers. So yeah, we got a nice little we got a nice little crowd in here right now. Denise, the Vulture, the dumpster diver, who jumped in and she just subscribed to me today. I appreciate the subscription. All right, so auction. So this was my first time ever going to an auction. I'm not sure how many of you guys have actually been to an auction before or not. But it was interesting to say the least. So basically what happened is it's this big giant room, right? And in the room there are all these different tables set up, and on every table they have a bunch of pieces. And so basically what you do is, at first I thought it was just going to be like a table auction, like where they just auction off everything on the table as one lot, but that definitely wasn't the case. So they were going through each piece and auctioning off each piece individually. So what happens is there will be there's a fight, pretty much. So if you see a piece on the table that you want, right, what you do is there's two people on each opposite ends of the table. So if you see a piece that you want, what you do is you pick up the piece and you hand it to the guys, and then that guy starts the bids off with you at $5. So, there was another person there that sets up at the flea market that I set up at in DC at the Georgetown Flea Market. So obviously, there's gonna be people that want the same things, and like I'm a nice guy, but like it was kind of savage, like you really had to like put your foot in the ground, and if you really wanted something, you had to go back and forth with these people to get it. And so I was like kind of intimidated because I didn't really know how all this was working. So I just kind of like watched the first table. And then at the end, whatever's left on the table, they auction off as one lot. So a couple of times I got super lucky and I got, a bunch of pieces all at the end. But if you guys saw the latest video that I put out, I kind of went through a little bit briefly of all the things that we picked up at the auction. So we got super fortunate, but I mean, there there was definitely some salty people in the building at the auction as I was, racking up all the glass pieces, the Carnival Glass pieces. And that jadeite piece, you can see it, it's right there, that Fire King jadeite piece, that like got a little pricey because obviously somebody else wanted it and I wasn't going to let them have it. So that's how that went down. But this piece though right here, I actually picked up at the thrift store afterwards. So I know you guys like, the uranium and Vaseline glass. This is a color that most people, you wouldn't really realize is uranium glass. So this is made by Murano, which isn't necessarily a maker. It's a place in Italy where a bunch of glass is made, and there's different artists that make the glass in Murano. It had a sticker on it right here, but it's come off. Murano is not one of my strong points, but I immediately recognized this vase. And this actually does glow. In the complete darkness, it'll all glow. It's absolutely insane. So like you can see it glow right there. Like that's crazy ill stuff right there. And if you guys haven't gotten your black flashlights, make sure you guys get your black lights. I'm gonna try and find a new one, and then once I find a new one, I'm gonna set up all the Amazon affiliate links and stuff like that. I guess that's how people do it. So hopefully I can find a better black light because I'm always banging this one to make it work, and it's killing me. So so we did pick up that, and then. So what I'm going to do now is I guess I'm going to show you guys a few things that sold over the weekend. And then after we do that, we'll go ahead and touch base on Carnival Glass and how I'm doing transitioning from part-time to full-time. So first up, Poshmark is starting to pick up a little bit for me. Let's go ahead and share this screen. All right. So let's check this out. Poshmark. So on Poshmark, I sold Untuckit. This is my second Untuckit shirt that I have sold. As you can see, it was listed at $20 minus all my fees. I made 16 bucks. I actually paid like $3 for that shirt, so not too bad. And it sold really fast, both of those Untuckits. Next up, I've had these boots for forever. They're brand new in the box. I got super lucky and I only paid I think it was like $14 for these boots. So we went back and forth on this price and eventually we settled on 85. So it's a great profit. But they were sitting around for a little while and they were huge. Then I sold this snapback hat right here. This was pretty awesome. Just your typical vintage snapback hat. And I didn't really have much to comp on it. I went ahead and just sold it for $15. That was the full asking price on that. And then this was my second retail arbitrage sale. So I picked up this polo sweater when I went to West Virginia a couple months ago. And it sold for $65 and I paid $20 for that sweater. So that's what sold on Poshmark over the weekend. Now, tell us about the police episode. All right, hold on. We'll do this. You want to know about the police episode? I'm assuming that's what happened when I was driving. I got pulled over. I don't know. Or are you talking about the video of me that we watched on Tommy and Tracy's live last night at the Redskins game? That was when I was crazy, fat, and drunk and wilding out at the Redskins game. But yeah, the other night I was watching Cernox live and I got pulled over by the feds for a brake light, and that like kills me. Like back in the day, I would have been like freaking out because who knows what I would have had in my car. But lucky for me, I was riding clean, wasn't riding dirty, and you know it was a boom, 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 boom. There goes. See, Lobster was there when it happened too. Now he's calling me Tail Light Timmy. But you know what? Like for real, the cop was actually pretty chill. Like I didn't have to like buck at him or nothing like that. I didn't have to, you know, turn the switch and go crazy on him. He was just like, you know, I'm pulling you over because your brake light's out. And then immediately, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know. But it's not like one of those lights where I could be like, let me get out and see, because, you know, I got to press the brake. I can't see the brake light and press the brake at the same time. But he was actually pretty cool about it and just wrote me a repair order, which sucks because now I got to, you know, go buy a tail light, go on YouTube, figure out how to replace the tail light. Then I got to go to the police station, and nobody like going to the police station. I don't care who you are. Nobody wants to go to the police station. So I got to go find a police officer, have him sign off on the work order, blase. But eventually it was like, you know, pretty quick. He ain't asked me where I was going. He ain't asked me if I was drunk. He ain't asked me if I had. Usually around here, as soon as you get pulled over, they ask you, where you going? Where you coming from? Is there any drugs and weapons in the car? You know, like it's immediate. It doesn't matter what you're getting pulled over for, where you getting pulled over. If you're in this like, you know, DC metro area, that's how it always happens. Bulb, my bad, you know. I should put black light bulbs in my taillights, right? But nah, so that's the whole situation that went down. I made it out unscathed. So, you know, crazy story. Not really, just a typical day here in the DC area. Who says yes? I really don't know. Like that's the craziest part to me. Like I mean, people are like that. I guess, you know, some people, they can't take the heat with the police. So as soon as they ask them, they'd be like, yeah, I got a 12 gauge and a pound in the back seat. But nah, I was good to go. The cop was a subscriber to me or you, sir, not because I was in the car whipping, listening to you and your brother. So it was pretty funny. I wish I was actually like, you know how Krillin be in the car, you know, when he be on the screen. I wish I could have been in on the screen when they got pulled over, and y'all could have seen all the red and blue lights. It's a wild situation. I've been pulled over so many times in my life that like, no matter what, it just my stomach just goes to my feet. Even now, to this day, sober and out of that life, it still happens. Like I still get that like pit in my stomach. He asked me, is my lens broken or the bulb is out? I'm assuming it's just the bulb. The lens should be good. So hopefully it's just the brake light bulb. You know, nothing a little YouTube and advanced auto can't fix. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that happened. So now I'm gonna just go ahead and show y'all briefly what sold on eBay. I actually had a pretty good weekend on eBay. I took a bunch of best offers because for those of you who don't know, I'm leaving for Ghana at the end of this month. So I'm trying to, stack up as much bread as possible before I go. I've been listing like crazy all the time. Yeah, my Dukes don't play when it comes to the police neither. You don't want to mess with my Dukes and the police. Do you know how there's been so many times when my mom had to pick me and my friends up when we were kids, when we got got in trouble with the police. I remember one time we was at this party, and I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, Steve? Thanks for stopping by, brother. But yeah, my mom had to come pick us up one time. We were at a party, and we was kids, and we was drinking. Oh, for real? Okay, Krillin. I'm gonna have to see if that swindle works around here. But yeah, we got pulled. We was at a party, my man's apartment back in the day. We was kids. We was probably like, I don't know, 15, something like that. And I mean, we had a refrigerator full of 40s, OE, like just all the different types of 40s, OE, St. Ives, 211, Mickey's. Like the refrigerator was packed. We had Alizé, which around here they call liquid crack. They had Mad Dog 2020. We was lit. I mean, there must have been like 20, 30 of us in this apartment. And then next thing you know, there's people out in the playground. You know how apartments got playgrounds. There's people out in the playground. They drunk. People inside, they drunk. Somebody called the cops. Cops come up in that joint. Everybody try to run into the back room. And like, there's some football players in there. We trying to jack the window open. And then you look out the window, you like, that is not a viable jump. I mean, it was probably a good 4 stories. So nobody was jumping out the window. Everybody just kind of hiding in the closet and behind furniture in the back room. And then next thing you know, the cops come in, and it's just like they pulling us out like you ever seen the people, when we come across, they lift up the back of the truck and it'd be like 100 people in there, and they all come out one by one. That's how we look coming out. Man, they had us all lined up against the wall. And I remember my man Obed, right? He was pilt. So he's sitting against the wall like this, right? And then next thing you know, he starts he has throw up on himself, and the officer looks at him and he's like, "Excuse me, sir, you have throw up on yourself." And my man Obed looks up at the cop and he's like, "Nah, yo, that's from a long time ago." Next thing you know, my mom coming in the door, picking us all up. She looked out for all my friends, and so that their parents didn't have to come, because if their parents came, it would have been bad news. But yeah, that's a quick little story back in the day, Tim. Tracy is in the building. Hello, Tracy. Thank you for joining us. All right, so back on topic. eBay sales. We're going to quickly go over what's sold on eBay, because like I said, I've been really, really listing hard, trying to push these listings, take some offers, because I'm getting ready to go to Africa and I need some money. I'm an honest guy, so I'll just be honest with you. So let's show you guys what's sold on eBay. First up was this. I thought this is a shirt that I might have kept for myself. This is a dope North Face plaid flannel, and I got $29.99 for that. I'm still brand new to this clothing stuff, so sometimes I'm hitting, sometimes I'm missing. I don't really know if I'm pricing necessarily too high, too low, but I got $30 for this North Face shirt. Next up was this printer, new in the box. I actually had this for a little while. I took a best offer for $39.99. It's just a portable, small little printer. That one was a good sale for me though, because I paid $2 for this, I believe, at a thrift store. I'm not rummage sale, excuse me. Next up, this was my Robert Graham flip. I took a best offer on this. I had it up for $49.99. But I took a best offer of $44.99. That is the Robert Graham. Next up was this Game Boy Advance pack thing. So I don't know if you saw, it's like a off market. It's not like actual Nintendo, but it was new in the package, and I got this for like 50 cents at the Goodwill bins. I picked up a couple of these like off-brand accessories. So I had it listed for $19.99, I think, and I took a best offer for $14.99. Next up, one of my favorite movies of all time, Top Gun. So I got this Top Gun VHS and cassette tape, and I bundled them up. I found them in the same day, so I went ahead and bundled these up. And then I had it listed for $19.99, but I took a best offer of $14.99. I am stoked to see the new Top Gun when it comes out. Next up was this Ralph Lauren double XL polo, red and green. And that sold for $24.99. Then I had this John Deere beanie. This joint was fresh too. And I got that for $14.99. I got for that, made in the USA. Next up, I had this for a minute. This was like one of my first clothing hauls that I got, like when I started expanding. And I've had so many people like try and lowball me and get offers on this. It says $89.99, but I think I took a best offer on that for $65. It had a little bit of wear right here on this spot, but it was a dope jacket. So somebody got a good deal on that. But I paid nearly nothing for it. Then I sold this Gitman Bros polo. I'm attracted to these dress shirts that have crazy colors, because I feel like they stand out more and they're easier to sell. But this proved to be a nice little brand. Good buy. $39.99 for that one. Then I sold this like old computer effects software Tiffin thing. It was sealed. And I got full asking price for that, $24.99. Then I sold one of those Monopoly games I showed you guys in our first live. This is a sealed Monopoly Pokemon, and that sold. And then I got rid of this bad boy. I picked this up for like $7, I think. I won it on an auction. No power cord, but it's a adapter. So, I tested it and it powered on. And I mentioned that it came with no power cord, none of that. So that sold. That was a great flip. And I only had that for a little while. That was good. This was a bad buy. These are dress shoes, Johnston and Murphy. I just bought these like when I was at the thrift store. They were half off, so I justified buying them because they were half off. They had a little like scuff right here, as you can see. But I mean, they're out the door. $24.99 gone. Not mad. And then I got this LL Bean once again in this sort of like plaid, like going around thing. I really like that shirt. And extra large sold for $19.99. And then last but not least, this sold this morning as I was packing. Vintage Virginia Tech Russell Athletic crew neck sweater made in the USA. So I think a lot of college stuff is going to start selling right now because of March Madness coming up. So I would keep your eye out on stuff like that, because I think that stuff will be selling. Anybody else coming in here? Yes, Xmas edition. That was totally like what I felt when I saw that polo. But yeah, these were no, that was not the jacket that this dude wanted. The jacket that this dude wanted it's a Robert Comstock leather jacket. And I mean, we went back and forth with that guy. He hasn't even messaged me back. So I'm just like, I'm glad that he didn't get it, because it was I just knew it would have been a return coming. Joe, I totally jacked all of that from Lada Josh. I told him too. I was like, bro, I got your folding board, and I'm gonna go with that style because I feel like it's a clean look. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out Lada Josh on the folds. I mean, it works. It actually would, believe it or not, I used to work at American Eagle, and I used to fold stuff all the time. And doing all this clothes stuff, folding and everything like that, it reminds me of working at American Eagle. But yeah, shout out a lot of Josh on that because his folds. Yeah, so that was what I sold on eBay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and quickly jump into what's sold on Etsy really fast for you guys, because I know like with the Etsy stuff, this is kind of like stuff for you, gives you guys an opportunity to look at the things that are not necessarily like clothes and stuff like that. So it kind of gets you an idea to what to look for if you want to try and venture out into glass in China. So all right. So first up, this sold this morning. I will tell you right now, this is probably something that you shouldn't look. Oh shoot, I just realized I'm up to 500 5-star reviews on Etsy. That's good. So this is something that you probably should never buy. Lennox. It used to be popular for a period of time, but not any time recently. This has been sitting around for forever. As far as how much I sold it for, I gotta double check because it doesn't show you what the prices they sold for when I'm looking at it on Etsy. So this sold for $29.99. I've had it for forever. It is a mantle clock. You can tell I had it for a long time because my pictures are horrible for this item, but it is gone. Thank you. All right. Next up, some uranium glass. This is a Hazel Atlas bowl. Diamond and arches is the pattern. This is a pretty typical bowl. You'll see this out in the wild a lot. And it was in pretty good shape. It had a little bit of fog to it. I want to show you guys. This right here is the marking for Hazel Atlas. So Hazel Atlas does make stuff that doesn't have markings, but if you see this marking, it is Hazel Atlas. See if I can make that bigger for you guys. There you go. It's an A inside of an H. So that's your Hazel Atlas right there. And this bowl sold for $20 plus shipping. Next up is uranium glass juice reamer. And this one, I've had so many of these. If you can find them for cheap and in good condition, I always recommend picking them up because they'll sell. The range depends. This one had a small chip in it, so I priced it down. But this sold for $15. They make them in all different sizes and shapes and stuff like that. As you can see, it did have that chip right there. But this still sold. The uranium glass, no matter what, it's just selling right now. I don't know what else to explain. All right, so this is an interesting situation here. So this was when I was still kind of experimenting with like how to sell things. I'm an idiot. I listed this all as one set. I remember when I bought it at the thrift store, I thought I was going to make a ton of money on it. Shipping this is going to be hell. I can already imagine. But this has been around for a little while, and I kind of got frustrated, and I threw it in my clearance section. So somebody got 40% off on this. This is actually made by Wedgwood. It's I kind of like it. It's got a cool little vibe to it, but it's got the pot, the sugar, the creamer, and 8 cups and saucers. So after the buyer's discounts, it was $124.99, and then they got 40% off, and then it was like $20 shipping. So their total ended up being just under $100 at $99. So don't buy that. This is a really awesome Flow Blue plate. This is like an ironstone. They call it brushstroke. You can see the bleeding on that plate a lot. And so down here is where you see it has the ironstone marking right there. There's no pattern name on that or anything. I had to do super amount of research on that particular plate. But that sold for a good amount of money. For that plate, I got $89.99, and then they also got a little bit of a discount, so it ended up being like $75 for that one plate. So Flow Blue, always pick up. It's one of my favorites. These are little nut dishes in the shape of shells, and they are Vaseline glass, uranium glass. I had these for a little while. I got super lucky. I found these in a grab bag with like 5 different colored ones. These are made by Cambridge Glass, and they sold for $20, I believe. Yep, $20 for these. Next up, this is all one order. So more Pyrex right here. This was a Daisy is the name of the pattern. It's just a solid yellow. They usually alternate patterns, and this one comes with like an opal lid. So this woman bought that piece of Pyrex. She also bought this piece of Pyrex and this piece of Fenton. This is a nice French opalescent. And then you have the hobnail right there. This is a little tiny vase. And she also bought this piece of Fenton, which is called Silvercrest. It's like a white milk glass, and it has a clear outside ribbing. And so she also got this piece of Wedgwood Jasperware. You guys know I love my Wedgwood Jasperware. And she is all in for all of those pieces after discount for $93.34. So that is everything that sold right there. Oh, my man. Authentic is in the building. What's up, brother? Thanks for checking me out. We are about ready to look, 50 to ship. Maybe, but I think I can swindle the shipping on this particular package. So what I might do is there's a possibility I might put it into 2 boxes, right? And then if not, I'm gonna do the old bag in the box trick that I've been working on. So I'm trying to figure that out. It's gonna be a task for sure. And you know what's crazy is that, oh, Mel, you really have that set there to sell. Don't sell it as a set. Just don't, whatever you do. If you guys aren't subscribed to Mel back from Burnout, she's going to be going on live in approximately 54 minutes. So make sure you guys go ahead and check her out. Somebody drop the link for her channel in the chat for me. Ma Dukes going to ship that. I don't know. So I'm going to transition that into how things have been going as far as going from part-time reseller to full-time reseller. So my mom, like I said, which is why she's not here on the live with me right now, is because she's feeling a little bit under the weather. So I had to do all the packing today. It was brutal, but a lot of it was the clothes and stuff that I showed you earlier. But I had a few Etsy orders that I had already processed that I didn't show you guys that sold. Because on Etsy, I do a 3-day processing time. So all of those orders haven't even been packed yet. They'll be pulled and start to be packed and shipped over the next couple of days. But yeah, I definitely had to do all of the packing today. And it really lets me understand and know how. I mean, obviously, you guys know I really appreciate all the help that my mom gives me, that Josie gives me, because it really allows me to, you know, continue to build at a certain pace. Because when you do all that shipping, you know, by yourself, you're packing, you know, for a couple of hours, because it's really not it's really not the same as like shipping clothes and stuff like that. Like I do that, it's quick, easy. But like you guys saw in the packing video that we did, like a lot goes into packing the breakables. And right now, Etsy is, I have the most volume of orders on Etsy. So like all that packing can get like super tedious. It takes time. So it's, today I haven't listed anything because I was packing all day. And then when I was done packing, I drove to DC from Maryland to pick up my basketball gear and then came back to DC. And now I'm doing this live with you guys. So it's like, but you have to, what I'm really working on and I've been struggling with is, plotting my day out. So it's like before when you're part-time, you have this X amount of time of the day to do your work. And then you have to go to your regular job. And like now it's like, it kind of allowed me to have things piled up. And since I've gone full time, I've really tried to catch up with stuff because I've had so much stuff that I wasn't being able to list. And like right now, I just want to get to the point where I'm caught up. And it's like, it's kind of crazy. So it's been super difficult. And like I work really, 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 really hard. And, like I spend most of my day listing and then, researching the glass and then going to the post office and then taking pictures. And then next thing you know, it's like midnight. And it's like, you're also doing a YouTube video when I get a chance to. And that stuff is like, it really catches up to you. So hopefully I'm going to get to the point where, because what happened is when I was part-time, I was sourcing like I was full-time. And now I'm not even really sourcing as much now as I was before because I have all this stuff that I just need to catch up on. And it's like, you get an auction haul like that. And it's like, that takes a week just to process the information for all that stuff. So it's like, you're going back and forth. Like, how do I best utilize my time? And, I have other projects and passions that I'm trying to pursue also, like I want to get working hard on the football podcast channel. So I have to start allotting time for that. So it's basically like right now I've gotten to this point where it's like when I get back from my trip from Ghana, I'm going to literally set myself a schedule and really try hard to abide by that schedule. Obviously, stuff happens and you get caught up and it's like, it's crazy. It's literally, this is how it feels sometimes. It's like, it's just like, I'm like all over the map, but I also at the same time enjoy it because like I need that sort of like hyperactivity in my life because that's just the type of person that I am. Yeah. Skateboarding. We need to get back into skateboarding. I know. So Authentic and me, we skateboard too. I might be 36, but I can still bust a heel flip. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we need to start doing some more cardio for sure. That's why I'm going back to playing basketball tonight. We might start moving the Monday night lives back to Tuesday nights maybe. So we're trying to figure that out until basketball ends because basketball doesn't run through the summer because the schools are canceled. So like yeah, I mean time apps help too. Like that's something I might want to look into. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's really just about plan, being organized, planning out my days, how to best utilize my time, but like, it's financially, it's also super tough because, a lot of people that do full-time reselling, they might live in areas where the cost of living is a little bit different, but the cost of living out here is no joke. And it's kind of crazy. Oh yes, the cats, Walter and Paws. Those are rescue cats. There's some crazy stories behind those cats. Walter especially, man. That cat's a super soldier. But yeah. I mean it is. For real, because you know, sometimes when you're sitting here and you're not on YouTube and you're not in the chats, right? It's easy for you to get sidetracked. You pick up that phone and you start, all it takes is a couple scrolls, and the next thing you know, you're lost for 20 minutes. But like, I don't know, watching the YouTube kind of helps me when I'm listing because it keeps me motivated. Like, you know, listing is difficult, and it's not like I'm not listing on one platform right now, too. I'm listing on 6 different platforms. So it's kind of crazy, but I'm super grateful because, you know, I'm still alive. January 31st was my last day of work. So it's like, you know, it's March 9th. I'm still here doing it. And it's super interesting. It's tough. Like anybody that, you know, I'm sure everybody knows the that's a good one. I'm sure everybody knows that that you know, people who don't do this think it's easy, and then like they always want to know, when is it time for me to, what's the best time for me to go full time? And it's like, these are things that like there's no answers for. Like, you know, everybody's different, everybody's situation is going to be different. So like right now I'm just literally trying to grind it out and get to the point where it's like, you know, I get into my rhythm, because for me that's how it is with anything that I do. I just got to get into my rhythm, and then once I get into my rhythm, then it's like, bam, I know what I'm doing at this time on this day, and I just abide by that, and then it's like it starts to move like clockwork. Right now I just been trying to get caught up, and it's like, but I've been doing really well. I'm almost, you know, I'm down to like one last pile of clothes to take pictures of and measurements. And then I yesterday, Josie, I love you if you're watching, Josie, she washed all the Carnival Glass, and I took pictures and measurements. So I'm gonna start getting listing on all of those, and just really just trying to catch up and get this thing moving into gear, because, you know, April's right around the corner, and when April comes, it's like, you know, now we have yard sale season. So, you know, Saturdays, I'm either going to be set up at a flea market somewhere, like a special vintage show on Saturdays, or I'm gonna be out and about in, you know, sourcing at yard sales. And then Sundays I set up at Georgetown Flea Market. That's every Sunday. So it's like now I got 2 days that are like, you know, set in stone. And I do that Sunday all the way until like football season starts around. So it's like that's where I'm kind of at in the mix with all that stuff. So that's the update on how things are going from part-time to full-time. It's crazy. There's no other real way to describe it. The hours are a lot longer. The work is a lot harder, but you know, it's worth it because I'm working for myself. I'm the boss. Well, actually, my mom and Josie are the boss. I mean, let's all be real. But in reality, I'm the boss. But if they were here, I would have to say that they're the boss. Y'all know how that works. But yeah, I mean, that's it right there. Like doing what I love. And it's like I found my passion. Like I was lost for a long time. And you know, for me, I started doing this and I kind of found out, Jody, you out of here? Much love to Jody, man. Love you, brother. Have a good one. But yeah, as far as going full time, it's just like doing what I love. And I found out that I was actually kind of good at this, and it's in my blood. So it's like it's almost like I was working at a restaurant, right? And I was working at the restaurant because I had a stable job, but it allowed me to pursue my other passions. But in reality, it didn't necessarily allow me to do it because it's just I was tired, you know, and I was not wasting, but I was giving so much of my energy to that job that there wasn't enough energy to use in the time that I had that was free to pursue that passion. So now in the beginning stages of reworking, it's almost like the same situation where I'm working so hard, but I'm working this hard right now because I know that once I put in these, you know, first few months of this really, really hard work, crazy hours, lots of dedication, that I can build the system that I need to really have the time to pursue my other passions. You know, helping Authentic more in the studio, doing more like contract jobs for Instagram and social media consultations, you know, really taking our football podcast to the next level. You know, I love photography. I love to learn more about video, more about editing, you know, like, and I have like these little time slots where I'm studying those things during the day and during the night. But I need to expand that time. And once I kind of get this system working a lot more, then I'll feel a little bit better and I'll be able to kind of like, you know, dedicate more time to those things at the same time without losing the track that my business has gone on. So it's been a lot of work, but I am happy. Shout out my man Dapper Tiger. He just dropped his first video. If you guys aren't subscribed to his channel, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Go check out his first video. It's better than a lot of people's first videos. So just wanted to give him a quick little shout out. Facts. Like, I mean, that's the other thing too. It's like, I'm about to go to Ghana. Like, can I really complain? Like, I'm about to pay all my bills and go to Ghana, you know, in the next 2 weeks. So it's like, that's why I've been having to like put in a lot of work. But like, I'm super stoked, you know, like I enjoy a good challenge. So for me, it's not that bad. But that's the update for you guys on part-time to full-time reselling. It's difficult, but I love it. So let's go ahead and give you guys a little prerequisite to the glasses and sessions, which are going to be starting soon. I just kind of been using these lives to kind of give people like a little bit of information as far as glass goes before I start dropping those videos, because I feel like it'll be easier for people to follow along if they're really interested in working on trying to learn more about glass in China. So we're going to talk about Carnival Glass. So this is Carnival Glass, okay? So it kind of has these multi-colors. It comes in different. This one right here is going to be a green Carnival Glass. Now, none of this has markings on it. So when I finish the video, I'm going to drop a link to what I use for my reference points for Carnival Glass. So like you find something like this, there's going to be other Carnival Glasses. You can kind of tell the quality of this Carnival Glass as opposed to newer Carnival Glass. I wish I had a piece of newer Carnival Glass to show you guys, but you'll notice it in the weight and the matte-ness of it. Like if you look in this right here, you'll see that it's kind of got a little bit of a matte to it. Sometimes you can find markings on the inside or on the bottom, but not all the time. So you find these, you need to figure out how to research it. Now with Carnival Glass, you want to tell the color of the Carnival Glass is usually known by what the color of the bottom is. So the bottom color of this is green. So this is going to be, you want to type in green Carnival Glass. Then you got to kind of like figure out the pattern. So to figure out the pattern, you know, you want to use keywords. So keywords are going to be, you know, like for this one, it's kind of paneled. It's got these panels right here, right? And then you have like these diamond studs right here. None of that actually helps for this particular one, just to be honest with you guys. This is Northwood Glass Imperial Fluted is the name of it. So I got this cream and the sugar. Not super valuable. I could probably sell the set for $40 to $50, but I did only pay, I think I got that set for $5. So this is a definitely one. This guy taught me. So yeah, so that's one color that you want to look for. But just You know how oil looks in the streets when it gets mixed in with water and the sun beats on it? Imagine that. That is like one of the key things you'll see in the Carnival Glass. Like, it's definitely this iridescence, but it's almost like a matte iridescence. You can kind of see it right there. You see what I'm talking about? So then you have your more basic. It's not necessarily basic but it's not necessarily one of the more sought after colors of Carnival Glass. So this is what we call marigold. Okay, it's almost like a amber, but it still has that iridescence to it. You know, this, I believe, I can't remember the name of it. I want to say it's the name of this pattern is like vine, or some people call it tree bark. It's made by Imperial. I actually have a car vase that's made in this same pattern. So like, but just because it's marigold doesn't necessarily mean that it's not valuable. There are definitely a lot of pieces out here that are, you just have to kind of do your research, like know what pieces in what color have the most value, because there's some pieces out here. For example, this piece right here, this is a little cordial, right? This is about 4 inches. Okay, this is in a marigold Carnival Glass color. It is Imperial. Is it Imperial? Oh no, so I apologize. This is not Imperial. This is made by Jeanette Glass Company. They made a lot of depression glass, but they also dabbled a little bit into some Carnival Glass. So this is Imperial. This is called Iris Herringbone. So this is a little cordial, right? If this cordial would have been the cordial that was, an inch taller, it's a more sought after, rarer piece. So you're talking about the difference between like $10 to $25 to like $200, $400. So it's like knowing the pieces of patterns that are rare are important. And I can't stress that enough, because even with like depression glass, some of it in pink might be worth $5 for a cup, like a teacup. But if you find a sandwich plate tray with the handle, it might be worth $200. Genie bottles, I don't know. I'm sure. I don't know about a genie. What kind of genie bottles are we talking about? Like teapot genie bottles? Or I'm not exactly sure. Man, you guys are killing me with the one-liners tonight, man. But yeah, so like, always know the difference in which patterns have the pieces that are more valuable, but like I got this in a bundle lot, so it was not that bad. Now, these are more what you call geometrical patterns. So as you can see, this has like all the like geometric shapes on it. Sometimes they're called like hobstar and nail or crab claw, stuff like that. So these also are very difficult to identify. But once again, when you guys get the link that I drop in the description afterwards, it's a really good guide on how to identify Carnival Glass. But once again, this is going to be kind of like a marigold color. It's like that orange color right there. And you can see it's just iridized. It's really beautiful. This I got was part of the lot too. Now, this is probably the color of Carnival Glass that most people know to date. Now, this was what I was just telling you guys about earlier, that like looks like spilled oil in the street mixed with water. This is a really nice piece right here. I want to say this is called Berries Sprayed, and this is made by Fenton. Once again, no markings on it, but you see how the bottom is blue? So that would be your identifying factor. Now, the outsides of them, they always differ. You know, sometimes they have like these blank outsides. Sometimes they'll have a basket weave. Sometimes they'll have the design on that you see right here, also on the outside. So this is what they consider this to be a hat vase with a crimped edge. So whenever you're describing anything, you always want to, you know, the crimped edge will help you like separate between a regular vase. This is a really nice piece though. It is gorgeous. Yeah. Same color, but when I held up to light, there were small spots that looked like it was clear. Is that some sort of okay? So with this, sometimes, oh, you know what? I might have a piece that will answer that for you. Okay. So when you're talking about that, are you? I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. Are you talking about like this? Like you see how you see that right there? Is that what you're referring to? Because sometimes that's just part of the glass. Other times, what that is that you really want to be careful of is so a lot of people they made these reproduction. Jeanette Glass did them as well, and Indiana Glass also. So what you want to be careful of is you want to be careful of what they call what do they call it? I think it's called flash transferring. So what they do is with this is the actual color of the glass, right? With the flash transfer, what they're doing is they are they're like flashing a layer of material over the glass. And you could literally the only way that you know a way that you could test it is if you can scratch that off sometimes. That is like the cheap stuff. Stay away from it. Don't buy it. You'll see a lot of those in these like they're footed pedestaled box candy dishes. So that is definitely one thing that you want to look out for. That is a indication of like a newer flash transferred glass. It's not Carnival glass. So be careful with that. It is definitely cheap. But sometimes like that piece I just showed you, I haven't researched this yet, but that sometimes might just be like it looks like it's like that, but there's bubbles in the glass, and that's just from the blown process. But like with the good Carnival, I mean that bad Carnival glass, you're not gonna get that nice matte look like you're getting on this. You know, like that has that matte finish. You won't see that. You'll be able to tell the difference. So then let's see what else I'm gonna talk about. All right, now this is really nice. This is what you call an opal Carnival glass. So just like in the opal glass that I've shown you guys before, it kind of has like this milky outside. So that's opal. Now you see how it's all milky on the outside. It has a pattern on the outside too. You see that flower right there. But look on the inside is that marigold Carnival glass. And you can see it has like that matte finish right there. So that's like an opal marigold Carnival glass color right there. Yeah, see, he knew that's exactly what it was. So yeah, that I would totally try and stay away from. You might be able to you might be able to sell it. There's people out there that like it, but like me personally, I would absolutely stay away from that stuff. I made that mistake when I first started. I thought it was Carnival glass, and I brought it home and I was like looking at it. I was like, man, it's got like scratches in the paint. And then like I started looking at it, I was like, man, what is this? It looks like somebody took like a film, like you know how they have those little film sheets that are different colors that you can put in front of the camera to change the color. They have like that film to it. So yeah, stay away from that stuff. I'm glad you brought that up. It's a good learning point. Good tip. All right. So now this is another piece of really nice Carnival glass, marigold, right? So with this stuff, this is a good opportunity to explain like another way of looking things up. And you see This one doesn't have the pad. This one doesn't have a blank back. It has the pattern on the back. It's got the berries. And a lot of times too, you want to look for to see if there's part of the pattern on the bottom. That's a good way to differentiate remakes from originals. But as you can see in this one, it has the Star of David in the middle, and then it has bows right here. So like if you found this piece and you didn't, know what it was, or you didn't have time to message me and you wanted to know what this pattern is, all you would have to do would be type in, Star of David and bows, and then kind of just work your way from there. So you always, with identifying pieces, you just want to try and get, certain pieces of the puzzle and just put those in your search, and then next thing you know, you'll find something new to add to that phrase, and that's how you kind of like build up finding something. Then once you figure out what something is, you gotta lock it in, load it in the brain. That'll help for sure. All right, so now we're gonna go into this is a really nice piece. So this is made by Fenton, and it is called Orange Tree. This is really, really nice stuff right here. So you want, once again, you got to look at these little details right here when you're trying to figure out what you have. So I'm trying to get it so that you guys can see. It's not focusing. But what it has is it has these trees right here that have oranges in them. So that's easy. And then you can see right here, this is like a two-tone. So it's blue on the bottom and it has like that oil spill color on the top. So this is a really nice piece also. Some of the pieces in this pattern are crazy valuable, super hard to find. And anytime, this one has scratches in it too. Like this Carnival Glass is old. It's gonna have some scratches. Finding this stuff in like mint condition is super difficult, but totally worth the money if you can do it. So Harry just stepped in the building, by the way. Let me just show some love to Harry real fast. Harry, I saw your comment on the auction hall video. So I think Harry said he has this vase right here. So once again, this is a marigold. This is imperial iris. Herringbone or iris, also what it's known as. So yeah, this is a nice vase. It's nothing crazy, but it I could probably get $25 to $30 for this, hopefully. But obviously, the details, if you can find details in your Carnival Glass, that's like, there's so much of it. I feel like I've given you guys a lot, but this is how you make the big bucks. There is some Carnival Glass pieces out there that fetch thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. They're obviously the super rare ones, and they are, you can barely find them. And then you have, a dime a dozen Carnival Glass pieces, but you could still make the money on it if you get it cheap enough. Now, this one right here is super interesting. I haven't looked this one up yet. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this has like deers in it. You see the deer right there? Deer and leaves. So this one's going to be an interesting one to look up. And it's got them on the back side too. See the deer right there? Look at that. Super dope. So like, you see, if you pick up a bowl, this one is in a marigold color. Might not be as valuable if this pattern is in a different color or a different piece. But with this amount of detail on a bowl like this, I will always get it. Yeah, see, that's how it is. Like, I've found Carnival Glass pieces at yard sales for $1 before and flipped them for, $30, $40, $50. Sometimes $20. But definitely is something worth picking up for sure. So to cap it all off, I'm going to show you guys the money piece. This is the money piece. Like my cup, my trophy. This is a beautiful, beautiful color. So this is what we call aqua opal. You see how it has like that blue, green, yellow, and orange going on in there? Look at the bottom is blue right there. Now, the only problem is this piece right here has this tiny little flea bite right here. Well, I guess it's not. That's a chip. It's not a flea bite. It's a chip. But if this piece was in mint condition, I probably would list it for about $350. Now I got super lucky. I got this for like $1.75 because I got it with 2 other pieces lotted up at the auction. But yeah, this piece would easily sell for about $300 to $350. This is called Fruits and Flowers right here. This is made by Northwood Glass Company. And just look at that. It is gorgeous. So yes, that right there is a beauty. Now with that chip, I'm probably still going to list it for about, I'm going to start high and see what I can get. I'm probably going to list it for somewhere around $200. But this piece right here, Harry, is made by Northwood Glass Company. And it is called, the name of the pattern is Fruits and Flowers. And then this particular color is called Opal Aqua. So I scored on this one for sure. Definitely the money piece. But yeah, I mean, there's so much to like go through and understand. Like, it's really about the people. You can't be like, all right, research and then just go out and try and find the most expensive pieces. The knowledge really comes from finding the bad pieces, you know, because you familiarize yourself with the knowledge and all that. Fenton, Stag, and Holly. Look at Tracy. Tracy. There you go. Stag and Holly. Tracy knows more about glass than she leads us all to believe, just so everybody knows. She's pretty fly with the glass. But yeah, so Stag and Holly. You see, like you just learn those little things like that. You know, you take the deer, you take the holly, you know, you build it all up. And then you learn how to use the tools that are given to you. You got the interweb. Like before the internet, people were looking at all these books right here. I use the books still because that's where you kind of get the real deal, you know, information. It's easy to find something in those books than it is on the internet, because on the internet people name it whatever they want to name it. I also got this guy. I don't think I showed you guys this yet, but this is pretty rad. I like this a lot. This is like super mid-century modern piece right here. That's dope. Yes, I have come across a bunch of the Helios green, and what's interesting about that is a lot of times that stuff is actually, so on the bottom of the Helios green pieces, the green part right here will actually is uranium glass. There is a lot of Carnival glass that is uranium glass also. So yeah, I've sold a bunch of the Helios green before. Hey man, you know, I'm just trying to do my part, man. That's all I'm trying to do. It's so difficult to, you know, it's a lot, and not everybody is into it. It's not as cool as like a pallet that I sold for $1 million on Amazon to some people. It might not be like, you know, some crazy stuff I picked up at the Goodwill bins, but I am passionate about it. And I mean, I think it's going to come back. Like Carnival glass was in the dirt for a while, but you know, I sell a lot of Carnival glass. You know, especially as of late, over the last 6 to 12 months, man, that stuff is crazy. Oh, you want to see Harry and Tracy? This one's for you guys. I'm kind of upset. So this is the TV lamp right here. This one right here. I plugged it in, but it doesn't work. So I don't know, but as you can, I don't know if you can see or not, but the bulb goes in there. Probably can't see it, but yeah, this is what they call a TV lamp. This is pretty dope. I love this piece. I mean, it's in fantastic condition too, and it was I paid $5 for this, so I was pretty stoked about it. And Tracy was telling me about how she was yelling at me in the auction video, like I better get it. And you know I got it. You know I got it. Mike Tyson piece. Mike Tyson piece. Do the eyes glow on this one? No, they don't have. It's no eyes in this one. That'd be sick though. Yeah, you know what I mean? Listen, let me tell you. Go, you guys. Some of these people have the best places to pick, man. You gotta. Your parents have the best. They got the treasures, you know. And a lot of times you find them, man. They still got the stickers on them. You know, they've been unscathed. It's tough out here, but like stuff like that. I love the old TV lamps. It's different, but like right now, this is hot. This is hot. People love this right now. Everybody wants a little bit of look. See, Steve knows. Those ones are really dope. But mid-century modern, MCM, mid-century modern is on fire right now. Anything you can find, like, look at this. Somebody's going to decorate their living room with this. It's like Thinking Man versus Panther Lamp. You know? Like, you could get both of these in at the same time. Thinking Man, Panther Lamp. It's just like, oh, you know? Same room. One's on top of the TV, one's on the bookshelf. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. That's what it's all about right now. You know, I'm still finding all types of cool stuff. And I got something else for you too, Harry. Ooh. So when I first started, I remember them trying to tell me that ballpark value on that lamp, if it was working condition, me personally, I'd probably list it for $100. But I did test it. I put a light bulb in it, plugged it in. I mean, the switch works, but something's not quite right. I might have my boy take a look at it. So if it was working, I'd probably list it at $100. But in non-working condition, I'll list it at 75. It'll probably end up selling for like 50. But I haven't really done too much research on it because so many different people made those style of lamps or in that style of mid-century modern like pottery. So like it could be Hager, it could be Shawnee, it could be McCoy, it could be any of those things. There's no marking on it. So, I mean, I've seen those lamps sell for as low as $15, $20. I've seen them sell as high as like $150. You know, it all depends on the shape, anything like that. So, I mean, but me personally, like with some of this stuff, like it's a lot easier to kind of set your own comps for this stuff to a certain extent than it is for like, you know, clothes and electronics and stuff like that, because there's so much of that stuff that like there's a market kind of price for it. With this stuff, you know, there's not a lot. I mean, you might not be able to find 5 people selling that right now. So it's like you can kind of like set the market to a certain extent. It also depends on how long you're willing to sit on something, because sometimes I sit on stuff for a year, but eventually I get that dollar for it. Like, I don't know if I think I went over it last live with Josie, the caddy with the 4 glasses, right? The uranium glass one. You know, I sold that for $140, right? I paid $40 for it. When I bought it for $40, the guy who I saw was looking at it before I picked it up. He was like, "Is that really worth it? Like, you think $40 isn't too high?" And I'm like, "Nah, I know what I can get for this." And then when I had it listed on eBay, I had this dude tell me, you know, he messaged me. He was like, "I'll give you 80 for it," you know, and then like, I don't think you'll get more than 80. And that right there told me, like, man, I could easily accept your offer for 80 right now, double my money, give or take, and be out, you know, and sell it. But I have faith in the way that I valued that glass. And I valued that glass based upon the rarity of the pattern on those cups, you know? And like, I told myself that this is worth more than $80. And I think that there's somebody out there that'll pay more than $80 for it. And what happened? I sold it for way more than $80. You know, so it's just like it's kind of like, you know, you gotta do a little bit of research and market, like ups and downs. Like I look at my Etsy store and the 2 highest search items. So I give you the top 5 highest search items on my Etsy store, or items, words that are searched on Etsy to get to my store. And it's uranium glass, Pyrex, mid-century modern, Art Deco, and Vaseline glass. So it's like, I know that there's people out there looking for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's popping up everywhere. So, you know, you just kind of got to put a value to it. Like these 2 little pieces right here, the salt cellars I showed y'all. You know, like somebody gave these to me. I think I could sell these for $20. You know, it's really just about how you think the market is what the market's gonna bear for you. That's the thing, is the space to sit on stuff. I feel you, bro. Trust me. I mean, that's why I'm turning burning right now a little bit, because I got a storage unit, you know, and you guys have, if you watch my channel, you guys have seen my storage unit. It's a little crazy, but like at the same time, it's just like sometimes, you know, you gotta know it. So like turn and burn. If you're worried about space, turn and burn the things that are taking up the most space with the least value. But like small things, if you want to hold on to get more value, then yeah, hold on to those. Sacrifice a little space. Turn and burn something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just we're all running out of space, man. We're all running out of space. But I feel like I've been sending out more than I've been bringing in. So that's what's good. Is the blue sitting figure a Jaru? I have no idea yet. I haven't researched it. I couldn't find any markings on it at all. There's no markings. I just like the shape and the style and the color, but no signatures or markings. And I haven't researched it yet either. I got it for $5 at a yard sale. It was a estate sale, yard sale a couple weeks ago. But I'm gonna write that name down right now. I'm also like, I'm not like a lot of, I still use pens and paper and stuff like that. I'm gonna look into that for sure, Steve. Thank you for that. So yeah, and I mean, like something like this piece I showed you guys when I started out. Like, I mean, I got this at the thrift store. Like, Murano is like one of the toughest things to identify and stuff like that, but I love it. So I'm gonna just keep figuring things out and keep grinding and keep trying to find the next treasure. Try and figure out how to continue to balance being a full-time reseller. I know this was probably not as fun for you guys tonight without Josie or Ma Dukes, but they'll be back on the next live. Oh yeah, I wanted to show Harry this. I remember when I first started out, they were telling me teacups are the hottest thing out, but I scored this for $1. And it's made by Kent Foley, Bone China. Broadway's the pattern. It's got some nice little comps on it, but like teacups and saucers took up a lot of space for me in the beginning, And like getting out of the habit of buying, getting all that stuff is like super difficult. But Mel, back from burnout, is about ready to go live from Australia. I got to get ready for basketball. This was a nice, short and sweet live. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate the love and support as always. You guys are great. Hopefully we'll have some new videos coming out for you guys soon. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you don't mind. I hope you guys had a good time and were entertained, maybe learned a little bit of knowledge. Thank you guys very much, as always. I look forward to seeing you all in the chats and stuff later tonight because I got a lot of listening to do tonight. But I really do appreciate you guys, all 32 of you who stuck around through all this. What position do I play in basketball? So look, I'm about 6 feet, right? Give or take 6 feet, 6'1". I don't got dribbles like that. I'm not like your typical like white guy stand in the corner and shoot. I mean, I could drain a three. Don't take me wrong, but I like to bang bodies down low in the paint. So like I'm an undersized three basically. Like I play down low with the big boys, but I ain't as big as the big boys. So that's why usually when I come back from basketball, I'd be like because I'm down there like yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like getting them and crazed. And so that's the position I play. I play down low. I get big. They call me Birdman. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I grab boards all day long, but don't nobody know how. They can't box me out. They don't know how to grab boards, but I'm just up there grabbing them. You know what I'm saying? But like I played in high school. I played football, basketball, and baseball, all varsity level. And I was going to play in college, but I tore I don't know if you can see the scar or not, but I tore my shoulder up. It was bad. A whole nother story for a whole nother day. I'm going to let y'all get out of here. Thank you all very much. Appreciate the love. Y'all have a good one. Peace.